Yeah. What up, y'all? It's your boy, the one and only A Switch, aka the 150-time social distancing champion, aka the breadstick butter. Yeah, the breadstick butter. I'm sticking by it, aka the nigga lip master. Bringing you yet another episode of Switches Sites, episode 72 to be exact. Today's date is September 10th, 2020. Man, world is just just when you think it could get any worse, it's getting worse. At least out here in California. At least with all the orange soda that was in the sky to try to make things light. At least in San Francisco. Seems like some of that's starting to come over here in South California. So that's been fun. And now it's talks about it's dangerous to breathe in the air. So now you for sure need to wear a face mask at all times outside. So now it's even worse to go outside in theory. It's just all bad, man. It's like this is really starting to feel like the apocalypse. At first, it was like, it was cool, just hee hee ha ha. But now stuff is starting to get real. Starting to get real. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, a little bit scared. A little bit scared. I'm about to snug my teddy bear extra tight tonight. But I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna be all right. But man, our world being destroyed aside, I just took a sip. So no, but our world being destroyed aside, a lot of pretty big news came this week. We finally got a price. The chicken race has finally ended. Xbox unfortunately lost, but not on their own accord. More so due to some of the worst kept secrets, leaks and whatnot. Forced Xbox to show their hand, unfortunately. So, with that being said, let's stop the dilly-dally and get right into it. With that, the biggest news that did come out is that, yes, the Xbox finally revealed their price. At least at first, they straight up leaked footage of the introductory video of the Xbox Series S. With I think the suggested price, or somehow the price got leaked too, but I think it was that with a combination of the I guess math to deduce that the Xbox Series X would be $499, with the Series X being confirmed to be $299. Initially wasn't confirmed, but after pretty much everything was leaked, and then this whole freaking paper trail of leaks. Initially, I think it started with the controller that people got a hold of through some retailer or something, some flatbed truck they stole from, I don't know, but to their demise though, because it's unusually early to release or at least ship a controller that's not going to release in 2-3 months. I guess maybe due to the pandemic, they were trying to mitigate for delay in time, but still, that's ridiculously long. So then with that, where they were saying, on the labeling of it, it had Xbox Series X and S. So it was like people were like, okay, that's weird. Then what? Couple weeks or a month later, then like I think somebody bought a customized Xbox controller. I think from Xbox Design Labs. Then on that, it was a straight up promotional flyer for the Xbox Series S. Um, and then now just keeping this secret horribly. A full video of the console leaked out. So I mean, some point Xbox can't you just can't just ignore that. So finally, this was like Labor Day. Xbox came clean. They're like, all right. They did the look at me like, oh, okay, all right. And they finally came clean and dropped the detail. Good on Xbox for I don't know, just not just pretending something's not there when we all know it is. And I guess really just that. And then also them confirming those leaks finally, which I do respect Xbox for doing that because I know any other company like Sony, really almost anybody else I could think of would just straight deny it, ignore it. But finally, since the clearly obvious trail was consistent this whole time, they finally revealed the details. So then on top of that, I think the following day, that Tuesday this week, they also confirmed the Xbox Series X price, which is $499, which is pretty good, very good. I think that's definitely what they needed to do, specifically Xbox. Um, yeah, that's definitely what they needed to do. But for people that don't want to shell out for that, they have even the way cheaper option, which is the Series S, which is actually really enticing. I'd say arguably for a lot of people that maybe are going to go PS5, but may still want to dabble in some of the Xbox exclusives currently that aren't existent. But well, I mean, if you missed out on Xbox One generation, there's still some stuff for you because there's still some stuff that hasn't come to PC that is still exclusive to the Xbox as well, considering that the Xbox Series S, SX are all going to be backwards compatible. So, you know, yeah. So, I mean, but all in all, the specs do look pretty good. It has the same SSD, just a smaller size, 512 gigabytes. Good luck with if you have a Call of Duty Modern Warfare. That's pretty much going to take like half of that. But for that to mitigate it in the same fashion as the Series X, it does have a port on the back where you can buy one of the expansion. It's hard to even really explain it, but it is essentially a SSD for further storage, but you can actually utilize that for the next gen games. So that's still going to be pretty useful to a lot of people, even though I think they leaked those prices as well, which they said for one of those being 1 terabyte, it's going to be like $258 or something like that, which is okay. But I mean, the options there. And then on top of that, you do have the you can still use the three USB 3.0 hard drives, external hard drives that you probably already, well, if you were on the previous generation, that you could still play previous gen games directly from that. So I think all that combined will definitely help storage be more manageable. And even on top of that, for the next gen games, you can at least, if you're maybe not playing it or don't plan on playing anytime soon, but maybe plan on playing it later, you can move those games to that 3.0 external hard drive. And then when you want to play it, you can just move it back to the main hard drive, which is all around way more flexibility than like the previous generation, where you're pretty much confined, with the exception of the PS4 and PS4 Pro, to the storage you had. I guess with the exception of the external storage, but overall, I feel like a little bit more flexibility than the previous generation in a sense. So, yeah, so same SSD, just smaller size. I think the exact same CPU, which I think is going to be big as well. But a claim 1440p up to 120 FPS. They already showed in their trailer like Gears 5 being able to do that on the S. And then also, which is I think is pretty big, but then I forgot that it doesn't have a disk drive, which kind of maybe lowers the value slightly. But regardless, 4K streaming media playback is still pretty big. So again, still giving you a lot of bang for your buck with the $299 price point. That's pretty good. And then 4K upscaling 4 games. So kind of like, I guess, how the Xbox One X and PS4 Pro is now, basically upscaling games with not native resolution, but like subsampling, I want to say. I feel like I'm wrong with that, but basically essentially using a different method while also still maintaining that resolution in a sense, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. But yeah, all digital, and it is, from the people that got their hands on it, it does look like it's the smallest Xbox they've ever made. It's like way skinnier. Yeah, just skinnier all around. So it doesn't have a lot of the flack, which admittedly is due to the disk drive in it. So now that it doesn't have one, definitely gives them a lot more flexibility in that respect. Not the biggest fan of the black circle, which a lot of people have been ripping Microsoft on, but I do respect them. I assume they're trying to be more, I guess, iconic and bold, or maybe going for that same, I don't know, design motif that PS5 is going for, where they're just trying to be bold and brash in some sense. Definitely, I'd say pretty sure, I think it's a given at this point. Like the custom or limited edition consoles are definitely look way better. Like I saw some people were mocking up as well. But yeah, as of right now, a lot of people are making the jokes. Hi, welcome to Taco Bell. Can I take your order? It does look like an intercom. It really does. Speaker, intercom, walkie-talkie, even. Yeah, subwoofer. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just like, why couldn't they just go fully white? Just make that white, but keep the same. That's Xbox for you. That's Xbox. They want to go bold. I guess they are maybe trying to easily differentiate it from Xbox One S, which, I mean, that's a whole nother thing in of itself. Now that we've got the concrete information that they're probably it's going to be a lot of confused one, confused parents, and two, disappointed kids this Christmas that got an Xbox One S instead of an Xbox One Series X or Xbox Series S. See, the fact that I'm even like mixing that up myself as somebody who's, pretty versed and educated in these details, definitely is just a pretty strong sign that, yeah, man, it's not gonna go well. Not gonna go well. But at the same time, I mean, I'm pretty certain these Xboxes, they're specifically Series X, is gonna sell like crazy, for sure. I think it's definitely a perfect price point, especially for people that, uh, like I said before, gonna go with the PS5, uh, ultimately, but probably when Xbox comes out with exclusives like Halo and stuff, that they'll maybe pick this up as like somebody that maybe put their foot half in the water, don't really fully dive into it, which I think is just it's smart as hell on Xbox's part. I think they're really playing a very smart game right now. One, selling at a very enticing price point, bringing a lot of other people in that otherwise probably wouldn't, including people on potentially on the other or PS fanboys, more or less. And then even on top of that, like going on accessibility, they're even gonna have plans to do a full package of Xbox where you can basically get the console, take it home, and pay like $35 a month for a full year or two, I want to say. And I think you can even do the same with the Series X, where I think it's only $10 more, where you get basically Game Pass, the console, being able to play online, um, as well as even the added announcements they made, which is that you can um they're gonna bundle in EA Ultimate. I forgot what EA's subscription plan, but basically EA's subscription plan is gonna be bundled in with Xbox Game Pass as well. That's a literal insane amount of value, man. Just as somebody who's being neutral, or who loves pretty much all of the consoles, essentially, that is a pretty smart move on for Microsoft. It's like they're trying to compete with PlayStation, but doing it at a different angle, kind of similar to the Nintendo Switch and how it's like kind of appealing to the same market, but at a different angle, essentially, like appealing to people that really want portable gaming, but maybe wants the console experience at the same time. Where people, I don't think a lot of people see the Switches directly competing against PS5, Xbox One, but it's like now I'm starting to see that too. It's like I feel like now, like coming this generation, I feel like all of these consoles aren't going to be necessarily directly competing against one another, if that makes sense. Um, which is crazy, man. That's surreal to think about. This is pretty crazy. But I think all in all, I think ultimately we're gonna benefit from it with just our just the immense competition, albeit indirect. Uh, Still, all of us benefited from it at the end of the day, because these companies are gonna fight each other in their own unique ways to get our dollars, and I think ultimately at the end of the day we're gonna benefit the most from it. So all in all, I'm very pleased with Xbox. They're definitely on the right track. A huge 180 compared to oh man, 2013, the atrocity that was the Xbox One reveal. Man, freaking Don Matrick saying like well, for those who who don't want to have the online checks and the always online, well, there we have a console for you, and that's the Xbox 360. I'm like, what? What? No. No, Don Matrick, what are you doing? Uh, yeah. Thank you, Uncle Phil. Thank you, Uncle Phil. Man, Granddaddy Phil. He is steering this Xbox brand ship in a pretty great direction, I'd say so far. Yeah, off bat, yeah, I'm for sure Xbox Series X is gonna sell like crazy. I'm gonna call that right now. Xbox Series X, not so sure about. especially people. I don't know. It's hard to say. Who knows? It might be both. Considering the current pandemic situation, that has been changing a lot of things, especially when you consider how the Nintendo Switch is totally like selling like crazy now, specifically during the pandemic. And gaming all around, I think it's all just increased immensely. So I think it's only a given that it's yeah, it potentially could happen all around. Who knows? But all in all, good on Xbox. Now the ball's in PlayStation's court to do something, and hopefully, yeah, I think this puts Xbox in a good light compared to PlayStation, where PlayStation is pretty much, um, yeah, they could be, yeah, they could be, yeah, they could do anything right now, but I think on their end, yeah, they're at a disadvantage really, because if they go higher, like 600, they're gonna be. I think they're gonna look real bad. Then I doubt they would ever go like 400 or 399. Maybe I guess maybe for their discless version. Yeah, they could like go for the disc version. They go 500, and then for the discless, they could go 400. That would probably be the, yeah, in my opinion, that would probably be the best choice that they could go in terms of particular route. But I don't know if they will. Yeah, if they were to go higher, they would. It would immediately give Xbox an advantage. And then on top of that, I think from a pure raw spec standpoint, I think technically the Xbox Series X is more powerful than the PS5. But I know PlayStation, with their announcement, they said their architecture and stuff could technically, in some ways be better, but that's that's yet to be seen, obviously, until we actually get our hands on it and people start reviewing it and stuff. So it's hard to say. Hard to say, but PS5 pressure is on. The pressure is on. There was rumors that there was going to be some this week, but apparently that didn't come to fruition. So I would assume next week, probably we would probably hear something because yeah, PlayStation 5 is looking real weird right now, to say the least. So all in all, pretty good news. Finally, I feel like it's like a load off my chest. These blue balls are gone. Now that we know the price. We have something concrete, something solidified to kind of like, something somewhat tangible to, just give us some hard facts to go on. I think also the pre-orders for Series X and X do go live on the 22nd as well. So all in all, man, some good stuff. Good stuff. Next topic of discussion. Ubisoft had their Ubisoft Direct, Ubisoft Forward. That's their terminology for it. Caught some of it. I think most of it I was like, oh, this is the Ubisoft Forward. But then I like left. I was doing some stuff and then came back. I was like, wait, oh, this is oh, so this, oh, that was just a pre-show. And they're like, oh, okay. So I watched, I think I technically watched the whole thing. I think I caught up and watched it, but watched it and yeah, it had some pretty good highlights, but overall it was a little weird, I guess. Had some highlights. I'll at least point those out. For Honor, they announced the new season coming out. That's pretty good. I was anticipating that, they might have confirmed some next gen details or something like that. But I guess when you think about it in theory, it will be backwards compatible. Well, hopefully for PlayStation at least. And then, things might be good that way, but we have yet to find out about that, or even the details regarding backwards compatibility, since PlayStation has still been so vague about it since Ubisoft, I guess, maybe possibly confirmed, even though they rescinded it. PlayStation told them to shut it down, but so there's that. What else? The one game, Gods and Monsters, got renamed. I forgot what the new name was. Ubisoft game rebranded. What is it? Gods and Monsters. Gods and Monsters game rebranded. Yeah, so it was Gods and Monsters when it was announced like about a year ago. Then now it's renamed to Immortals Phoenix Rising, which not sure how I feel about that name. Not really certain how I feel about that. It's yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that at all. I don't know. It feels too generic to me, I guess. This feels like a bunch of jarbled up words that could be easily, mistaken for something else or just easily passed off, in my opinion. Like if I were to see that, never knowing about the game, I probably would just completely write it off. Seems somewhat interesting. I get hella, God of War vibes, even though it's more kid friendly, cutesy, but I don't know. Personally, it at least didn't interest me fully, but it was interesting in terms of that directional change they made to the game. So there's that. What else that stood out? Probably one of the other highlights was Prince of Persia, Sands of Time. So yeah, I don't think well no, I think this was rumored a couple weeks back, but then they finally confirmed it. Um so yeah, they're straight up remaking Prince of Persia Sands of Time, which actually is pretty good for me because I remember I had the game, never finished it. I think I ultimately sold it way back, but I never really beat it or fully played it. But it had a lot of cool techniques, and I hear it's highly praised as one of the best, one of the almost arguably best games, especially when it came out around 2001 for sure. So I'm definitely gonna give it a shot. I think a lot of people are getting tired of remakes. I mean, personally, if it's of course, if it's something that you aren't necessarily tied to or missed out on, more or less, you have more to gain from it than people who have already played it when it came out. So there's that. But all in all, I would definitely pick it up. So it's coming out. Wow, they did. I didn't know they announced the date, but it should be coming out January 21st, 2021. Xbox One, PS4, PC, and then Switch and next gen will get it later. So pretty cool. Seems like this announcement was gonna be for E3, but maybe due to COVID they probably pushed it back immensely. But and probably the other biggest highlight, I think probably the game of the show really, Scott Pilgrim versus the World actually is getting re-released. It's the complete edition, so it will contain the DLC for it when it came out on 360 and PS3. So I guess for people that may not know, the game did come out on 360 and PS3, but I guess due to some licensing issues, it got delisted. And at least if you bought the game already, you could still play it now and re-download it. But people who maybe missed out can't play it on 360. So now it is coming out on PS4, Switch, and Xbox One and PC. So holiday 2020. So yeah, I'm guessing like sometime this December. Oh, and Uplay and Stadia. I forgot forgot about Stadia. Um, so yeah, but so at least after they initially announced that, I was like, oh heck yeah, this is nice. Yes, people have been wanting it, craving it, missing it. And then there was what's his name? The Bryan Lee O'Malley, the creator of the IP Scott Pilgrim. He had some subtle tweets about it, pretty much acknowledging it, and then like up until the release of it today, or an announcement today, he was kind of doing some very good subliminal hints and stuff. But yeah, we finally got the confirmation. That's all good and dandy, but um Kotaku had some details regarding it. Um, Even the previous game when it was out on previous consoles, that it's kind of really messed up. Is that apparently he did not get Bryan Lee O'Malley, creator of this IP, is did not get paid for the game when it came out before, and it about to come out this holiday. So something about that just does not feel right in my opinion. Um just something about that is wrong. So I don't know. I'm having like second thoughts now. It's like of buying it because it's like it's like this is that's kind of grimy that like you're not gonna give the the person that made the IP any royalties or anything for this. Just does not, I don't think that's right personally. So I mean, apparently Brian Lee O'Malley is okay with it, but I don't know. I feel like there's something there that's not right, and maybe that might possibly explain why the game ended up being delisted. Um, so who knows? But Brian Lee O'Malley, he had an interesting tweet. He was acknowledging like, okay, you guys can fucking shut up because ask me about this damn game coming back. Don't come. You can leave my house now or whatever. It was a funny tweet, but yeah. So yeah, I'm very indifferent about it. Very indifferent. And also on top of that, uh limited run games, who for those who don't know that like they're really great, I guess essentially a game publisher of games that normally will only release digitally. They normally have a limited run around the time it's come out, generally maybe a couple months after it's come out digitally, and have these games released physically, like in some cases collector's editions, really fancy stuff, and give these games like the valid treatment of a physical release that I think a lot of them do deserve. So but immediately after this was announced, limited run games, they like said that there aren't no plans to do a physical edition, at least with them, I guess, to do this, which is, it's unfortunate because this is definitely a game I'd like to have a physical physical version of. You know, because I wouldn't say a full collector, but I'm a selective collector. Yeah, I'd say I'm a selective collector, not like fully obsessive or I gotta collect. I gotta have the full PS4 collection, full Switch collection. Hell no, not at all. But very selective games that I really enjoyed or have enjoyed a lot, or huge fan of. Generally, I do prefer to have a physical edition if possible, but um, which is sad. Who knows? Maybe the Ubisoft will publish it themselves. In some cases, they do that with some of these downloadable games. Or maybe it's just some other company altogether. Who knows? But all in all, Scott Pilgrim is back. At what cost, I guess, of still not paying the IP, the creator of the IP, but you know, is what it is. Unfortunately, kind of messed up, really messed up. But yeah, I think I'll just maybe support directly by. I don't think I've ever purchased a comic, so maybe just to not feel as bad buying this, probably buy the comics as compendiums to at least support this guy. So still messed up, man. That's really messed up. How do you not pay the person that created the IP? I don't get it. And then on top of that as well, I think the people that originally developed this game aren't involved as well, but you know, they sent their best wishes in terms of the people that are, which is still not really known who is actually under the helm of porting these games to current gen current gen consoles. So good stuff though. In other, I guess, games that used to be on previous gen that might be ported, um seems like some rumors been going around that Ninja Gaiden Sigma Trilogy is apparently listed for both PS4 and Switch, um from Hong Kong's publisher, distributor. Some images showing, I think, box art of the game. Yeah, Ninja Gaiden Trilogy on the site, and in terms of the inclusion of the games, I guess maybe to not get mixed up with the classic Ninja Gaiden Trilogy that were on like the not Super Nintendo but NES. But I think they did port it to the Super Nintendo. But they are straight labeled Ninja Gaiden Trilogy, includes Ninja Gaiden. I forgot what that icon looks like. It's like a E, but like fancy. Ninja, I guess that is Sigma. Is it? I guess it is Sigma. So Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Sigma 2, and Razor Edge, released on March 2021. So I mean, it seemed like it would happen. Ninja Gaiden, a lot of people I think do like Ninja Gaiden, especially now in the age of Dark Souls and extremely hard, difficult, but yet rewarding games. Totally makes sense for this to have a collection, albeit Razor's Edge was not the best, or not went out on a whimper in terms of like the whole trilogy, but I think all in all, it will be definitely a welcome addition. Yeah, I think I have the originals. I think I have the original one, original two. I want to say I rented three, but I never played the Sigma versions of them, which are, I think, generally improved versions. I think they have some different enemy layouts and I think additional weapons, if I recall, from like reading reviews and gameplay and stuff like that. So I would definitely pick it up if true. Yeah, maybe I probably might get it for Switch. Maybe feels like a Switch game. Maybe PS4. It depends. Have to weigh out pros and cons of either or. But I really hope it is true. I definitely would like to revisit Ninja Gaiden because I want to say 2011 was when 3 came out originally. So yeah, I forgot that Team Ninja and Itagaki they split. So Itagaki, I pretty safe to assume wouldn't be involved in this if it is true either. So that's a bummer. That's a bummer. So bummer. But I mean, we still get the original trilogy or even the improved trilogy. So hope that comes to be true. I'm curious where they would announce that. I feel like that would just be a one-off announcement. Maybe at PlayStation's, but I don't know. PlayStation at this point they have to start talking strictly about PS5. They've done too much like lollygagging with PS4, PSVR stuff to try to fill in and I don't know, compensate for something. But yeah, I feel like that this would need to be announced soon. Yeah, 40 bucks. At least that's the leaked price according to their store. Yeah, I'll definitely pick that up. I definitely would pick that up. nostalgia, revisit, and then on top of that, not playing the improved versions, revision, Sigma version of the game as well. I think you can also play as like Kasumi from Dead or Alive, and the one girl with the purple hair from Dead or Alive. I forgot her name. So yeah, I definitely that'd be an instant buy for me personally. Having not played those improved versions, and being such a long time playing Ninja Gaiden. So, but yeah. So there's that. And in just unexpected news, man, I think this was Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity was announced. So basically, this is a game developed by Koei Tecmo, who are obviously associated with the Musu games or Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors. I keep forgetting the crossover. What's the Dynasty Warriors crossover? Dynasty Warriors crossover. Dynasty Warriors. It was something. Yeah, Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors. Oh yeah, I forgot they made Fist of North Star. I kind of want to get that. Um, yeah, they made. I think they made a lot of games. Too much to not to even count. Um, what was it? Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors. I think that was it. Let me double check. Warriors Orochi. That's what it was, I think. Yeah, Warriors Orochi. So that was the one crossover between Samurai. I know there was a couple other ones like through various I think it was like one that was actually Musu All Stars. And just like, yeah, so many ones I'm assuming tied to anime. Like the Fist of North Star one. But it's a lot. More or less a lot. A lot of damn Musu. If a lot of Musu. A lot of Musu. Um so yeah, first Hyrule Warriors came out. I think the reception was pretty good. I think, just people having a Zelda slash 'em up seemed like a perfect recipe to be put in the Musu form. So now they're coming out with Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, which is basically, they said, is a prequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild that takes place 100 years before the main story of Breath of the Wild, which I think for a lot of people that are hyped up about the sequel to Breath of the Wild, I think this is definitely, it's a perfect time to actually drop this. Which I think, oh yeah, it's coming out November 20th. That's pretty damn close. I think even for me personally, having not beaten the Breath of the Wild, I think I put like 20 hours in and just never got back to it. So I think this is actually be pretty dope entry point for me as well. So yeah, I definitely plan on picking this up when it drops. So all in all, I liked everything I saw. Yeah, you have some of the, I think a lot of fan favorite characters, being in playable form. Just knowing that they're gonna have their Dynasty Warrior spin on them with all their various attacks and ultimate attacks and all that, and fighting thousands and thousands of various enemies. Sounds like a pretty good time if you ask me. So yeah, pretty cool. You could tell at least in the preview video or the announcement video, the director of this game from Koei Tecmo, he's like, "Hi, I'm very excited for this." So like, I mean, if he's excited, how would you not be excited? I'm just saying. So all in all, good stuff. Keeping the Switch train going. Choo choo. I have to do it. I have to do it. When you say train, you got choo choo. All right. That's too much for my throat. Think I got the corona now. Throat feeling funny, so I might have got that corona. Might have got that rona. But yeah, so somewhat stopping the train, essentially. Unfortunately, Suda 51 and Grasshopper manufacturer, the developing team that Suda is on, or leads really. They both dropped some tweets yesterday announcing that No More Heroes 3 is getting delayed 2021. I think pretty much everybody saw this coming with, just the immense impact that this coronavirus pandemic has caused. Yeah, it's like I'm not surprised, but at the same time, still sad about it. But also, of course, I'm all for giving developers more time to finesse and fully realize their ideas. So take your time, Suda. Take your time. Want this game to be great, the best No More Heroes in the series. So I could wait. I could wait. And I'm curious, considering that we heard even a little bit more leaks about the 4K Switch, and maybe this might be one of the titles. Because the rumor was that Nintendo was telling people that develop games on the Switch to get their titles ready for the 4K Switch or something along those lines. But I'm curious if this will be one of the titles that might possibly, maybe around launch, be 4K capable if this 4K Switch holds up to be true, which think it's pretty given he'll probably will be, because since it's been like what, 2 generations since with the Switch being in the I guess, well, yeah. Yeah, so the Wii U was HD 1080p, then the Switch 1080p and docked. So seems like that's somewhat of the cadence with Nintendo. 'Cause let's see, the NES, well, NES was weird, but you had the RF. Man, that is I feel so old saying that. RF RF composite, and that was it. And then the Super Nintendo, you had the composite, and I guess RGB if you were in the UK. Then the 64, you had composite. I think as video if you got got the cable for it. Then GameCube, you had the composite and the insanely expensive component video cable as well. Then from there for the Wii, yeah, component or composite optionally. Then now with the well, not now, but Wii U had HDMI with 1080p or 720p depending. But I guess technically the original Wii could do 720p through component. So I guess you kind of had that. And then now with the Nintendo Switch with 1080p output via Switch docked. Yeah, now seems it will make sense for them to just jump to 4K. Also keep the Switch hype train going. Choo choo. With with backwards compatibility with the current Switch, make not just screw people that still have original Switches, maybe don't want to make the jump, or have the capabilities of 4K television or whatever. So I think that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I think it makes sense. So yeah. So gonna be curious to see how that comes to fruition. Considering this pandemic is not slowing down anytime soon. Um, who knows? Who knows? But again, Suda, take your time. Take your time. We'll be waiting. Get more amped for No More Heroes when it drops. It'll be the best game ever for the Switch. Be probably my game of the year for 2021. Might call it right now. Uh, yeah, I guess on that it was definitely my most anticipated game this year. Um, yeah, I'd say even in front of Cyberpunk, just because this series is so up my alley in terms of just wonky, weird, random zaniness is just my jam. And yeah, yeah, disappointed, but I understand. I understand all four developers taking their time if they need it, if and when they need it, to ensure the game's quality is great. So take your time. Take your time. I was looking forward to it, but I understand. Who knows? Maybe we might get the No More Heroes 1. Maybe it's a constellation at some point. Since we heard those rumors a couple months ago regarding regarding the first one being listed, at least. So that'd be cool. Maybe before the end of this year we get a No More Heroes collection where you get 1 and 2, and then at least get people up to speed, hyped up for No More Heroes 3. That'd be pretty. I'd totally like that path. If maybe this might be what it hints at, potentially. I'm just purely speculating, obviously, but who knows? Moving on. The Witcher. The Witcher train. I need to stop with these trains, but Witcher, or CD Projekt Red, at least. Good news flow keeps going. So they did announce for The Witcher 3 that if you have the PC, well, I think PC, PS4, Xbox One versions, everybody will be getting free upgrades to the next generation, which is pretty dope. So via the Witcher Games Twitter, Witcher 3 is coming to the next generation. A visually and technically enhanced version of the game will be available for purchase for PC and next-gen consoles, and as a free update to owners of the game on PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4. Oh, cool. All right. Because, at least the wording they initially had, visually technically enhanced version of the game will be available for purchase for PC and next-gen consoles, and as a free update to owner. Sweet. So, if you have any of these versions, you instantly get a upgrade when it's available come next gen. So I got the PC version back in around when it released. Never played it. I think I played it for maybe 5 minutes, and I got distracted at the time and never got back to it. But well, yeah, now I'm definitely waiting now. But yeah, so I'm definitely waiting for that PC upgrade to drop. Combine that with these newest graphics card that comes out, hopefully that may possibly get. Gonna be over, man. Put me in a coma. Put me in a chamber. Don't touch me. Don't touch. Put me in a chamber. Don't just put me in a chamber. Leave me alone. That's pretty dope though. Probably Cyberpunk first, then probably Witcher at some point. I guess man. Just these games are so intimidating, man. This game is 160-ish hours, I believe. Maybe I think it just varies really, but it's so cool though. Good on. Oh, they're bringing HDR. Also bringing HDR to the PC version. That's pretty cool as well. Wow, that's pretty awesome. It's good. It's good. CD Project Red. You're doing what some companies should be doing, a la 505 Games, who I was gonna cover it, but I might as well now that we're on the topic. But apparently 505 Games, where they made that BS announcement that Control, if you bought Control, um that you would have to buy it again with all the DLC as the Ultimate Edition if you want to be upgraded to the next gen versions of Control. So apparently their reasoning for that was due to technical limitations, or they use some BS saying that. But apparently it was a lot of folks that actually accidentally, I guess because the technological disadvantage might have been advantageous now, or some switch that may have actually made the game do what they said it couldn't, actually did work for some people, where they did actually have they were essentially upgraded to the ultimate version of the game mistakenly, because obviously, since that can't happen due to technical limitations or whatever BS excuse they used. So very interesting. So now they're looking real dumb right now with pie on their face because they wanted to use some BS excuse to try and get more money from people, get more money and punish people that actually bought and invested in the game during release, especially, which is still kind of really messed up. Not sure if I ever talked about that. I think we covered it, but I'm not sure. But still messed up either way. Any way you spin it, flip it, reverse it, still messed up. Can't tell me otherwise. So, I mean, if CD Project Red's any indication, I'm just saying 505. I don't blame Remedy because I think a lot of companies do suffer from this. I think like what was another bad example of somebody that Destiny with Bungie and Activision, where they like, I think they compromised a lot of that game just due to them wanting to be money hungry. So I don't generally do not. Yeah, I think it's always the publishers that always try to push these messed up tactics of trying to charge people more money than they need to, especially cross generation. I think any other scenario, maybe I give you a little bit more leeway, but the fact that we're trying to cross over to another generation and people want to pull stuff like this, which it just makes sense that people are actually invested in these next generation consoles, and they already invested in these consoles already, or games, some of these games already. Just like, if it's so simple, then just do that. Just simply upgrade them, like a lot of games are doing. So companies just gonna be companies. Moving on. In better news, better news. Madden NFL, out of nowhere, uh, actually is putting Colin Kaepernick in the game. So for those that don't or may not know, Colin Kaepernick was the star quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, who during the uh, I mean, maybe been going on forever, but immense amount of police brutality against black people, essentially. Um, Started taking a stand with taking a knee instead of standing up and for the flag, for the national anthem, which caused a lot of controversy. NFL and you know uh, overall. But Colin Kaepernick stood to his guns, and at least unfortunately for that, the NFL removed him, or I forgot, or cut him. I forgot what they. Not sure the actual procedure they did to him to get him removed from the NFL, but essentially he's not with the NFL currently. So ever since then, he's just been a pretty dope advocate for civil rights, and keeping the movement and um, what he believed in going on still after leaving the NFL. So um, pretty much things have been turning up for him. I know recently he got a Nike deal, and now Madden actually added him in the game. But I think a lot of people were suspicious about it because what was funny is that I wasn't even aware of this until recently. I think one of the previous Maddens, it had a song that had a lyric that mentioned Colin Kaepernick. I guess they just straight up bleeped his name out of the song, which is like, really? It's like, oh, okay. It was like, I mean, that's a whole other thing. It's like, it just then don't include the song then. But I guess maybe it was a huge, big song that so that caused a whole legal kerfuffle with Madden and Colin, I believe. And then maybe this is partially their way of trying to make good for it, but who knows? But basically, you can add him as a free agent to any team, so you could essentially have him on any team. And what's even crazier is that he's higher than pretty much almost any of the starting QBs on a lot of teams. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty dope. It's a pretty nice middle finger to the NFL. Which is pretty dope. So I'm curious if essentially I would assume the NFL would have some say in this. So maybe they somewhat were okay with it. I don't know. But yeah. Overall, like at least the message it does send that, like, you got a free agent in the game that has a higher rating than majority of the QBs on a lot of the teams. It's like, man, yeah, NFL, you guys should probably do something about that. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe put them on one of your teams. Maybe I don't know. Maybe just makes sense. But I digress. But yeah, good on EA either way for maybe whatever possible ulterior motive that might be for. But I mean, essentially, EA will be in the game, so that's pretty cool either way. So pretty dope stuff. Kicking it a little slightly off topic, I guess, somewhat related, but man, I never thought I'd see the day, but AMC, the great renowned TV series that is known as The Walking Dead, pretty much one of my favorite TV shows. Yeah, I'd have to say. Actually is announced that season 11 will be the final season of The Walking Dead. That is crazy. I never thought it would, to be honest, I never thought it actually would end, but actually is. Actually is. So, yeah, they announced that next year will be the last season. They said it would actually be a pretty lengthy one. This is according to The Verge. Variety and Entertainment both report that the final season will consist of 24 episodes, debuting in late 2021. Between now and then, fans will be treated to 7 episodes for the 10th season, one of which is the finale, airing on October 4th, followed by 6 bonus episodes airing in early 2021. So, yeah, Then they also announced that there's going to be a spin-off. Um, spin-off that's been recently greenlit by AMC that will focus on Daryl Dixon, aka Norman Reedus, and Carol Pelletier, Melissa McBride, um, which is, I think a lot of people actually wanted that. So, um, yeah. So, but this show, that won't debut until 2023. So, wow, it's the end of an era, man. Walking Dead actually ending after 11 seasons. I mean, I understand it though. I think, with Rick Grimes being gone, I think uh the what's the statistic? The viewership. I think the viewership diminished a lot. Not enough to like warrant like, okay, we have to cancel it, but I think maybe just to the point where, maybe they just wanted to end things where, they didn't want it maybe to go down that route where it would essentially be like horrible, where just the quality is just significantly reduced. So, but I mean, there are the spin-offs like Fear the Walking Dead still going. It's like season 6 next year, I think. I haven't really caught up on that actually. Um, yeah, I haven't even never really finished the first season, but Fear the Walking Dead. What was the other one? The Walking Dead New World, which is I think the one with the kids. I think there was some other one that's being planned that I can't recall. So I mean, there's that as well. So I mean, there's still Walking Dead for the hardcore fans, but I don't know. I feel like I would probably end. Yeah, this might be the end for Walking Dead for me. In terms of just the main show, that's the only one I've really intensely followed or watched ritualistically, essentially. Um, so yeah, it's kind of crazy, man. Just, I mean, it's funny. A lot of people got their wish that like, all right, man, yeah, man, is this Walking Dead, this show needs to end. This needs to end. So there you go, people. You got your wish. Are you happy? Funny, I think I saw a tweet. Somebody said that, I always said that they should end it, but now that they're ending it, I don't know how I feel. I was like, well, you know, you keep wishing for, a genie, you're gonna get it, right? I guess. I don't. It's a horrible analogy, but you get what I'm saying. So, end of an era, man. How worse can this year get? You know, how worse can it get? Um, yeah. So that's pretty much all the news for this week. Getting what I've been playing. Actually, it's only been one thing I've been playing. That Deadly Premonition 2. I got Avengers Tony Hawk, but no. I was like, no. You know what? Tony Hawk, I got a better skating game, all right? It's Deadly Premonition 2. The skating is pretty horrible. but either way, I was already kind of in the groove of playing this game, so I kind of want to see it through before I move on. So that's been pretty much been what I've been doing. At least this past Labor Day weekend. But before that, I was organizing, cleaning, reorganizing my room, cleaning. So that pretty much, of course, took up my whole weekend. So I was like, oh, great. So I just only had Labor Day to play some Deadly Premonition 2. So there was that. Yeah. Yeah. So overall, thoroughly enjoying it. It's still janky, wanky, whatever you want to call it, but it still has that charm that I cannot put my finger on. Maybe it's just a bias coming off of the first Deadly Premonition, but it still has a lot of those still a lot of that charm, Twin Peaks feel. I forgot I straight up binged the hell out of Twin Peaks as well. So kind of maybe have all that combined going for my fervor for playing this game still. But um surprised by the amount of side quests in this game. I don't recall the first one having that many side quests. I don't think they were as much, or maybe I didn't actually do them all. But overall, I'm thoroughly thoroughly interested in the side quests. Actually, some are just weird and janky. Others are, more interesting. Some are, yeah, just more archaic. But overall, I'm enjoying them. I ranted about it a little bit on Twitter, but it was this one issue with basically there's this one bowling side quest where basically you have to, in order to beat it, you have to bowl. I forgot the terminology they use for it, but basically it's 2 pins on one side and 3 pins on the other. So it's like basically essentially a split almost, but basically you have to figure out how to hit the pins to where you knock them all down, which is pretty difficult given the pin position. So literally wasted like probably 2 hours doing that and like all my money, which is just the other annoying thing about that side quest is that when you each try you do, you have to spend $2.50. So, losing each time for over like 2-3 hours, that's a lot of damn money. That's a lot of damn money. So at least now I definitely am gonna save and maybe try to do it. But I know they said that in the game there's a way you can get what they refer to as a talisman that makes it easier, because I guess that's the difficult part too, is that it uses the traditional meter for a mini game where you have like, I guess really mainly for like golf games and any other, I guess, somewhat sports game where you have the meter that goes left and right quick as hell, and the 1 meter that goes up and down and bounces, and then you have to time it just right to get the amount of power and the direction, which is this one. So it's pretty tough to kind of line those up ideally how you want it, because I was looking up some guides and it seems specifically that you have to do it, at least in terms of people that have had the most success rate, is basically lining up the bowl on one side to the left, and then getting the power all the way up to the max, and then letting it go. But then even then, that's not consistent, because it's like there's been a lot of cases where I get all of them except for one damn pin. It's driving me nuts, actually. Not even gonna lie, but I think I'm gonna wait until I get this talisman. That might make it easier. So there's that. But outside of that, the story actually has been interesting, but it feels I feel like there should be a term for this, but um it feels like I've been playing so many side stories, like literally that, like I forgot kind of what the main story was. And I was like, oh, this is pretty dope. Like, in comparison, obviously, to the side quest, which is, generally way better than the side quest in terms of doing the main story versus side quest. So that's been interesting, to say the least. So yeah. But all in all, I've been having a good time with the game still. Jankiness and all. I've been still engaged. I think I mentally got used to still pretty bad performance. Maybe that, or I'm just, giving it a pass because of what the game is essentially, or the vibes of the game. But still enjoying it, man. So I'm definitely gonna see it through. Hopefully we'll complete it this weekend. That's the plan. I'm not sure how far I am. I feel like I've completed majority of the side quests, at least, or at least the ones I want to do. I don't know. There's some collectibles which I totally despise. So I don't plan to do that, and I don't think there's a valid reward for it. But you know, it's a lot of stuff that a lot of stuff to do in that game actually. I'm still very surprised by how open world it is really. I mean, considering it's very janky and admittedly unpolished. So, but yeah, I think that pretty much covers whatever I wanted to say about Deadly Premonition. Yeah. I'm just gonna say this. I think I'm just gonna say this and not even explain it. Black dude, cowboy hat, draws, cowboy boots. All I'm gonna say. All I'm gonna say. All I'm gonna say. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Oh yeah, I'll give you one more. What was it? Yeah. No. It's like yeah. Yeah. It was something like yeah. So I'm basically alluding to a character in the game that's pretty funny. Yeah. It has a lot of it still has a lot of the comedy elements of similar to the first game. It's just straight up Twin Peaks the game. Really, if you wanna yeah, it really is. Maybe Twin Peaks the game with a bit more comedy. Or at least a bit more comedy that hit with me. Because I mean I'm caught up on Twin Peaks and it's, a movie that or series that came out like in the 80s. So it's like, or no, I think it came out when I was born, 89. So I mean, regardless still. Um but yeah. I mean, I if you are patient, you like Twin Peaks, yeah, if you're patient with some of the downsides I mentioned and you like Twin Peaks, I do recommend Deadly Premonition 2. But if you don't like any of those, I would not recommend it. It's not for the faint of heart in terms of tolerance of video game downsides like long load times and very inconsistent frame rate at times, crashing bugs and other stuff like that. So, but yeah, so here you go. Some further impressions, insight on Deadly Premonition 2. Outside of that, that good old YouTube and some slam dunk actually I've been kind of slipping on that recently, but I think I'm on episode 11. I'm trying to remember where did I leave off. Uh um did and I even forgot the main character's name. Sagaraki Kun? I think it's Sagaraki. I think he learned how to do a layup. Learned how to do a layup. And I I think that's where I left off. I think he learned how to do a layup. Or maybe they were playing a scrimmage, or maybe that was the episode to come. I forgot, but I'm somewhere around that. Um so yeah. Still slow well the tread is slower now with Slam Dunk, but nonetheless, still keeping it on. Yeah. Outside of that, same old, still trying to survive. Maybe that's why my throat is weird. Maybe I'm unintentionally inhaling all these fumes from all these fires going on. The world is horrible. Hopefully I don't die, but if I die, then I die. That's a horrible dying quote. If I die, I die. Then you die. Oh, well, all right. But I die. If I die, I die. Yeah. So I think that'll do it for episode 72 of Switches Sites. If you did like the show, enjoy the show, enjoy me being a nigga. Let's just keep it 100. Um, what should you do? I feel like I'm asking you, but I'm trying to remember. Yes. Like, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff on your favorite podcasting platforms. If you want to catch this show live, tell me I'm a bitch. You can do so. Well, I mean, without, I'm not gonna say there aren't any repercussions. You probably gonna get banned, but you could do so at Twitch TV/A Switch, where I do stream live, recording the podcast. You can also catch archives of the show on youtube.com/A Switch, where I generally upload those the following day. You can also catch, well, yeah, when I do plan to start streaming games again, probably after Deadly Premonition. But yeah, on those same avenues you can catch um some of my archives as well, from Twitch. Also, like at least on YouTube, I've uploaded some of my older Metal Gear videos that I used to that I streamed way back, and I never uploaded them to YouTube. So I'm basically trying to play catch up and upload some of those really, admittedly, kind of watch your back on them. It's pretty funny videos, because I guess what makes it funnier is that, like, I was pretty out of what's the word, drowsy and loopy, and that, like, was like a recipe for a lot of just funny dialogues that, like, I don't even remember, but just stuff I was just saying just randomly, and it's just like, wow, that's just stupid, so dumb. So recommend you check those out. Those are actually pretty funny. I'm pretty happy with how those how those turned out. Who knows? I might get inspired, make another highlight video, kind of maybe scrumming through some of those highlights. That's at least the plan. I'll try to get like a lot of my old stuff out. Start scrumming through some of them, getting some highlight videos, and you know, make a truncated version for some people that maybe just like to get that full effect rather than going through a whole what I admittedly upload them in full, because I don't know, I feel like the YouTube algorithm now is just so just janky now. It's like it doesn't even matter anymore. Like back in the day, it used to be favoring 15-minute or less videos, but now I think it's longer now. So it's like, who knows? It always changes like every damn day and week. So at this point, I'm just doing it for fun, because they revoked my partnership, so I'm no longer a partner because of I forgot what they said, but yeah. So with that, I go at my own pace, because I don't get paid for this. This don't put the bread on the table. This don't put the butter on the biscuit. This don't put on the meat on the sandwich. So not sure why I went on that tangent, but whatever, it's fine. Yeah, you can also follow me on Twitter at A Switch, where I do talk about games and maybe some booties here and there. Okay, I'll be honest. All right, you might, if you see some boobs or a booty liked by me, look the other way. Just keep scrolling. All right, just keep scrolling. Still no way Twitter does that. It's trying to expose you explicitly. But I already ranted about that, so I'm not gonna go back into it again. If you have any questions you like to submit to the show, you can also submit those at aswitchtv@gmail.com. If I get enough, may dedicate a segment to that. I believe that's it. That's all the housekeeping I think I have to do. So yeah. Till next time, guys, be safe. Don't die from this orange sky if you're in California that's forming, or maybe it's forming everywhere else and everybody else is being quiet, who knows, or Hopefully, the world will be the world next week. Hopefully, we'll actually get to see the release of the PS5 and Xbox One Series X next generation graphics cards. Who knows? I don't feel like everything is up in the air at this point. You know, it's coronavirus, orange skies, deadly hornets killing people. I don't know if they let's not be too extreme. We don't know if one, they're confirmed killing people. Two, if they're actually, thankfully I've not seen one. I don't want to see one because I will fucking kill myself. Well, kill myself out of fear, immense fear, dread and fear that I can't contain myself. So I'm rambling right now. Either way, till next time, guys. Don't cough. It might be hard because of this guy. Tell you don't cough, but like don't cough, but he might cough because this guy's the air quality is horrible probably now. It's all bad. It's like I'm trying to inspire people to be better and be good, but it's hard because you can only laugh about it because otherwise you're just gonna be in a depressive state. Um, it's funny because it's horrible. Oh man, it's funny because it's horrible. I'm sorry. Um, yeah. So that don't touch people that don't want to be touched, and get your game on because really there's nothing else to do essentially. Um, oh yeah.